Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got another scale model build for you, and we've got the Airfix Curtiss Tomahawk today. This is 1/72 scale, so yeah, and this is a very nicely detailed plane. This is a starter model kit, so if you've never done modeling before, this kit would be ideal for you, because in this kit you get everything that you need. You get a set of decals, a paintbrush, 4 paints, and your poly cement, as well as all the parts to do it. And it's nice and easy to put together, and we're going to do that in the video today. So on the back of the box you've got your sort of a paint guide and your decal locations. So if you're wanting to pick one of these up for yourself, you can go to any hobbycraft or model shop, but I got mine from Aldi and it was £4.99, which is a bargain for a nice little model kit like this. So let's get this open and let's take a look at the sprues. Okay, so we've got our sprues out of the packaging, and this is what they look like. We've got sprue A on the left here and sprue B. So sprue A mainly consists of all the parts, the underside of the plane, and we've got 2 pieces of the wings. You get some wheels on there. There's some pieces for the side of the plane. These are like the engine pieces that come out, like the exhausts. There's a little aerial there, other little pieces. We also get, just here, there's a little pilot. Just there, if you wanted to paint him and sit him in his little chair, you can. And you also get his little chair just there. Yeah, so you've got a choice for this. You can either have the landing gear up or down. So it depends which you want. So that would be landing gear up, and you put these on it. And the other one would be landing gear down. So there, you've got your fuselage. I don't know if you can see the detail on there, but there is quite a little bit of detail on there, all the way along, which is really nice. And we get the pieces for our propeller also on there, here and here. There's also a third sprue, which is like a clear canopy, which is like your clear canopy pieces over here. So I like to keep these in the bag until I absolutely need them. And also, lastly, we get our decals to put on the plane after it's painted. First things first, let's get these instructions read so we know exactly what we're doing. And then after that, we're going to wash these parts in warm soapy water and let them air dry. The reason we wash them in warm soapy water is because when they've gone through like their mold or whatever they've come out of, there could be like some mold release agents on here which will could affect the paintwork once we're done. So we don't want that. We want them nice and clean, so we're going to wash them in warm soapy water and we're going to let them air dry. Don't dry them with a towel or nothing, because we don't want to put any bits of lint or anything on there. Yeah, and then we're going to read our instructions and see where we're cracking on first. So with our sprues now ready, what we can do is we're going to take this sprue here, for instance, and we're going to start painting the pieces for the propeller. So there's 4 pieces for the propeller. We're going to be painting them. We're going to be painting the inside of the fuselage, the cockpit area, and we're going to paint his chair and his computer console on here. And we can take all of these off the sprue, as well as the underside of the wings, the top of the wings, and the actual fuselage itself, and then we can start assembling. So first off, let's get these bits painted and then we'll start assembling. So now we've got all the pieces of the plane painted that we want painted at this stage. We've got the inner cockpit painted, and we've got also the inner bit of the fuselage and the propeller painted. So first off, we're going to put the fuselage together and install the propeller. So we need our two pieces that we've got for our fuselage, something to put a bit of dollop of poly cement on. So we're going to put it just in here, just on there, and a cocktail stick. So we're going to get our cocktail stick. On this side, we've got some sort of like nipple points. We're going to put some of this poly cement on each nipple point, all the way around, just like that. And then we're going to run a bead of glue all the way around the seam of the fuselage. Try not to get any in this bit for the cockpit, the propeller, and this bit here. Let's do the back end now. Right, now we can fuse these two pieces together using the nipple points to guide us. So let's line them up and start slotting them into place. Giving it a good bit of pressure, a little squeeze at each point to make sure they stick together. We're going to allow a few minutes for this to dry, and then we'll install the propeller. So while our fuselage is drying, we're going to assemble the pieces for our propeller. So all we've got to do is this propeller's got like a peg on the back. We'll slide that through there, like so, lining it up with each propeller piece on each side. Now this piece is just going to sit on top of there, so we can apply some glue to the bottom 3 points here. One, two, and three. And now we can put this any way around you want on top of there, like that. Allow that a few minutes for the glue to cure, and then we can install this into the plane. So now with our fuselage dry, what we're going to do with this little hole at the top here, we're going to be putting this peg from the propeller through this hole here, giving it a good push all the way through, just like that. And now we can put this little stopper on the back, so we can put a bit of glue on the inside of here. Don't need too much. I'm just going to put it just inside this hole here, just like that. We can grip this with some tweezers, and install it onto the back of the propeller, just like that. Now we've got a free turning propeller, just like that. So now with our fuselage done and our propeller installed, what we can now do is move on to assembling the cockpit. So for this we're going to need to bring in the base of the plane. We've got our gear stick, and this is the bottom piece that everything's going to be mounted to for the cockpit. So we can actually install our chair and our gear stick onto here now, so we can do that straight away. So all we need is a cocktail stick and some glue. Let's grab some glue. And we can put some glue just on the bottom of our chair, just on this peg, just here. And this is going to go just in here, just like that. That's going to sit just on there. So now let's install the gear stick. For this I am going to use some tweezers because this is tiny, as you can see. So what I'm going to do is I've got the glue ready in my pot here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dip this gear stick into the glue rather than use the cocktail stick. And now I'm going to bring in the bottom bit of our canopy and glue that into place. So it's something a little like that. So now we can either install this now. This is what's going to have the computer console on it. So we can either put our decal on now for this, or we can install it onto the bottom of the plane and then install that at a later stage. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to put this onto the bottom here first, and then we'll put the decal on. Let's grab the cocktail stick again. I'm going to apply the glue to the bottom of this here, all the way down on this edge here at the top, and the same again at the bottom, just like so. Now this is going to sit just on here. There's two little recesses either side. That's going to sit just in there. So we can push this onto here and allow that to set on there for a few minutes while we take a look at our decal. Okay, so moving on to the decal, what we're going to need to do, we're going to need to bring this piece in, and this one is port number 2, picture number 2. So we need to cut this decal off. And we need to soak it in either some decal solution, but for the purpose of this video I'm going to be soaking it in some water. So I'll move that to the side. I've got some water just here, just in this little tub here. What I'm going to do is place this face down in there. A little dab, let it soak through for a few seconds. There we go, that is now ready. So now we can move the decal on the paper. So what we want to do is move it to the edge. Now we can slide this straight on here, just like that. And now we can either use a wet paintbrush, a damp paintbrush. I'm just going to maneuver this, get it a little bit damp, and now we can give it a little poke, and it should be able to move it into the exact place where we want it. So we're happy with that, and we're going to proceed with the decal in there. See if I can get you a better view of it. That's got all his gauges and controls on there, so we can put that down. We don't need this anymore, so we can get rid of this. Now we can bring in this piece here that we made earlier. Now we need to put some glue just in this little recess here. So let's grab another cocktail stick, get some fresh glue, because that glue is drying really quickly. So I'll just put a little dollop just in there. I'm going to apply this all across the bottom edge. And just along the back here, because this is going to sit just in this little recess here. So I'm going to use my tweezers. Now this can be dropped just in here. Just like that. Just need to hold that for a few moments, just while that glue takes.
There we are. And that is now, we've got his gauges and everything there, his gear stick and his chair all ready to be installed into the fuselage.
So now we've got the main pieces of the plane assembled. What we can do, we can move this to the side for a second. This is our fuselage already done. It's all dry now. Now we can install the tops of the wings to the bottom of the wings. So all we're going to need to do is smother this piece here in glue, which is quite simple. So let's grab a bit of glue, stuff like that, another cocktail stick, and I'm going to actually apply it to the actual wing here. So I'm going to get these two peg points first, make sure I get them. The only bit I'm not going to be putting glue on is this piece here. So all of this other base piece bit here, I'm going to be applying glue to, because I want this to get a really good seal. So I'm not going to be putting it here. I'm going to smother all of the glue all the way along. Just in some key areas, just to make sure I'm getting it all along all of the seams, which will help prevent any gaps. I'm also going to put a bit just on here, because I believe this bit is covered as well. Just like that. Now we can flip this piece over. And this is going to go on this side. So now we can locate the peg points and slot it home. Give it a good push, a good squeeze, because we don't want any gaps all the way along. Just like that. Now we're going to repeat this process on the other one. On the peg points and all over here. And again along this edge. And again avoiding this area down here with the sort of like grill effect on it. That's the area we're trying to avoid. Make sure we get some down all the way down both seams. You need to be very quick with this glue because it does dry very quickly. And we can place this one on. Give this one a good squeeze all the way around. Just give that a hold just for a few moments to allow the glue to dry. So that's nice and dry and you're happy with that. Now we're going to install the actual fuselage piece. So what we're going to want with this is we're going to want to get some key points. We're going to want to test fit, make sure it fits. It does fit really nice and snug. So we can apply some glue on these edges here, and we're going to see all the way along these edges and also on these two pieces here. So let's get our glue ready. So I'm going to apply it to these pieces first, on the back tail piece here, which just fits just underneath the plane. Apply it just on here and at the back here, and also on the front here, round here, and just under here. Put that piece down to the side and make sure we get a few key areas here. So we're just going to run a bit of glue all the way down that, all the way down this seam here, and around this edge just here, both sides, just like that. Now we can fuse these two pieces together, so they line up correctly, and push them together. Actually, just before I do, I'm just going to rub some glue just down this edge where the wings go as well, because I want there's a little gap there. I just want to get rid of that gap. So just on this outer edge, just here, both sides, and here as well. Now let's get these two pieces fused together, push them in hard, and then push our wings in. We can hold that and allow these to dry for a few moments. Okay, that's what we should have once we've got that glued on. So now what we're going to need to do, we're going to trim some pieces off, like these rear wing pieces here, and we're going to get these all trimmed off because we're going to be putting these on now as well, because basically we can assemble most of the plane now. The only piece we couldn't paint on the actual plane itself would have been the actual cockpit down there. So now we've got that installed, we can paint the rest of the plane when we've got it assembled. So once I've got these wing pieces on, what I'm going to do, put that one to the side for a second. I'm going to grab this one. We're going to take this piece here. Yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to give the actual plane, before we install the landing gear, we're going to paint all of that and get it all in the one colour before we put our camouflage on. These two pieces here I am going to leave on because I am going to paint them while they're still on the sprue, so I'll do that in the next few moments. We can take this piece off now, just here, drop that down. So yep, we don't need anything more off for that for the moment. Do we need anything more for here? Yeah, we can take this off, this one. And all that should be left on here now should be pieces for the landing gear. What's this piece here? That's for the tail piece. If you don't want the landing gear in, so we're not going to use this piece because we're going to have our landing gear down. So now we can install all of these pieces. Quite easy. So this is going to go this side through this little slot just here, so we can get some glue ready made. That's right here, and we can start putting these in. So let's get this one on. Some glue on the tab, you don't need to glue anywhere else. Top and bottom of the tab. And this one is going to go this side. Just in this little tab hole here. Good push, slide it together, and it goes. Exactly the same, top and bottom. And we can put the other one in the other side. And just in that, push them fully flush in, just like that. Now we've got the rear one to go on, so that's going to sit just on there. It's going to clip in, so you're going to want to put glue all the way down this edge, run it all the way down. There we go. Now we can put this piece on. We'll need to hold this one for a few seconds, just like that. Make sure we get it all lined up perfectly and perfectly straight. That looks straight to me, so I'm going to go with that. Now what we've got to do, we've got to bring this piece in. This is going to be the top of our bit here, so we can now put some glue on here. Basically, I'm actually going to put it on the actual plane itself, just on this point here, here,
just at the inside of the seams, all the way around. Except for where it meets the propeller at the end. I'm not going to be putting any there. I can drop that on. Make sure that bit sits nice and flush. Give it a good squeeze, give it a hold for a few seconds. Basically what this glue does, it's not like super glue. This glue fuses the two parts together so they won't come apart afterwards. So if you get a good squeeze on it and get your seams right, you won't have to do much filling later. It's alright if there's a little tiny gap because we haven't painted it yet, the paintwork will fill a little gap in. So I'm happy with that, the way that's looking at the moment. We can turn it over and we can do the same for the bottom. Actually, I'm going to put the bottom piece in here, so I want to make sure I don't break this piece off. Just going to lay it down very gently. And for the bottom, which piece is it? It's this piece, the piece with the jagged edge on it. And this is going to be painted the same colour as all the bottom, so I'm not too worried about that being painted at this stage. Now we can slide this in. So you've got a little bird just on the corner there. I'm just going to take that off if I can find the snips. Just like that. And we can put this one in. Just going to slide just in here. So I'm going to use the tweezers because I can't get a hold on it. Just like that. Oh, knocked it out. Yeah, so we're going to slide that in. I'll give that a few moments to dry as well. There's another piece here that we're going to be using. So this piece we can install onto the bottom, I believe. So there's two ones of these. You can either have it open or you can have it closed. It's entirely up to you. So I've went with the open position. Now we can install this piece onto the bottom here. So we can smother the bottom of this all in glue. Going to turn my propeller so I don't break that. Rest that down there and grab our cocktail stick with our glue on it. Get a good portion just all over the back here. So I can slide that in, just like so. Just like that. And now this piece is virtually ready for paint. So there's only a few little more details we can put on. Let's have a look, see what we've got left on the sprues. We can lay that down flat that way. So we've got the side pieces, which is going to go for here. I'm going to call them the engine exhausts, because they look like little exhaust pipes, so that's where they're going to go either side. So we can paint these. I'm going to paint them black, and then I'm going to give them a dry brushing with some silver, just to give it like a little effect. And then that's this sprue almost done. We've just got two wheels on here. And then on this sprue, we've got a few little details left on here. We've got the bits for the landing gear and these little pieces here. And that's the rear landing gear just down there. So this piece here, I don't know what that's for. I can't see that on the instructions. That is for the rear landing gear. So that piece there will get installed into the bottom of there. And then that bit will get installed onto the bottom of here. So we can cut this off. I'm going to cut this off, get it ready, because this is two pieces. I'm going to get this ready now. The other piece of landing gear I'm going to paint first before I assemble. So let's get that one ready. But this will make it nice and easy to do this piece. So I'm going to get the actual rear landing gear just here. I'm going to dip that in the edge of the glue. I'm going to install this. Which way up does it go? This way up. With the bump raised, and then we can put that just in there. Right, now we'll sit on there like that at the end. So that will probably be one of the last things I put on. So also, the good thing is with these wheels, that's the back of the wheel. So we can paint this all black all the way around, and they're the insides of the wheels there. This is like the caps, so we can paint these all the one colour. They're going to go sit in there, and then we can paint these, and they're going to clip on to this side of here, and then we can attach them onto here. And we've just got a few little aerials and everything to put on towards the end. So first up, let's get this all painted up, ready for the finishing touches. Okay, so we've got our plane painted and we've got a camouflage on, and we've also installed our landing gear, and that's what we should have and what it looks like. We're nearly finished. So all we've got to do is we've got to put these exhaust pieces in the sides. So get a little dollop of glue and a cocktail stick. I'm going to run a bead of glue just down this back seam here, and run it all the way down. And this one is for this side, so we can just slot this straight in there, just like that. And now we can do exactly the same with the other side. Squeeze until it goes in, just like that. And that is that part done. The only thing left to do is to put the canopy on. And I did paint the canopy, and I got a little paint on the glass, so what we need to do is just clean that up. This can be done after the fact, but if you get paint on it, you just scratch it off. We want to use some white PVA glue for this, because if we use the poly cement, it might fog up the actual canopy itself, and it won't be see-through anymore. So let's get some glue on the bottom of our canopy here. Just run a bead of it all the way along. This will dry clear, so no need to worry if you put a little bit too much on and you can see white everywhere, because it will dry clear. Just there. Now we can turn this over and install it onto the top, just like so. And that's going to take a few moments to dry. But while that's drying, we've got the two side window pieces here. This PVA glue will take a lot longer to dry than the actual poly cement itself. So you need to, once you've got this in, leave it to dry for half hour and it'll be dry. Maybe might be done before that. So we can push that in there. I'm going to leave that on there. I'm actually going to take this one, isn't even dry yet, so I'm going to take that one off. Might make it a bit easier to install this side. Just like that. We can leave that side to dry while we do this side. For this side, I'm going to actually put it all around the glass edges, because this one doesn't have anything to hold on to. So I'm actually going to use the tweezers and try and slot this one home. That's better. Now we can reapply a little touch of glue, because I didn't put that much on this. I'm going to put a bit more on, all the way down, and all the way down this side. Just like that. Now we can drop this one into place and leave it to dry, and we'll come back when this is nice and dry. So now with our Curtiss Tomahawk fully painted, all we have to do is put the decals on. So we've got our decals here. I've got some water here. That's what I'm using for this, is water. Cut them off, dip them in some water. It normally takes about 15-20 seconds for these to be ready, and then we should be able to take them off and put them on the plane. So once you've had them in there for about 20 seconds, what you want to do is grab one out, and you should be able to move it on top of the bit of paper now. So we're going to move that to the edge, and we're going to be placing this one on this wing, roughly right about here somewhere. And then we can take our clean paintbrush, get a little bit damp, and then we can manoeuvre that into the position we want. Actually, I think that is near enough perfect. I just want to move that over a little bit. Not too much. About there. Perfect for me. And now we can get the other one out. Move that one also to the edge. Get rid of them tweezers, we don't need them anymore. And we're going to be putting this one same place on the opposite side. Now we can manoeuvre this one into place. So this one needs to go up a little bit. Roughly right about there. It looks good. Yep, that looks roughly about good. So I'm going to go with that for now. So that is these decals on. I've already put on the other decals on the plane, as you will see now. I'll get a better angle for you, so I'm going to show you around the plane. I'll show you the bottom first, because there's only two on there. There's this one here, this one here. We've got the continuation of the teeth on there, and I'll show you a little montage now of around the plane, just so you can see the decals. This will be the last scale model build this side of Christmas, so we'll join you in the new year. Hopefully we'll have a few more models for you. Until then, please like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.